Hi science classes, happy Wednesday. I know we're on shortened schedule, so I'm going to try to keep our intro for today brief. I know that everybody is in a little bit different place on the lab so far, and I want you to have as much time as you can to work with your groups, be trying to figure out what those groupings are going to be for the pictures, and then moving on to the next sections. So our objective hasn't changed. I can explain the difference between potential energy and kinetic energy. In the lab report, they call it stored energy and action energy. And so that stored energy is potential, action energy is kinetic. That's on our glass board next to the smart board as well. And then I can identify examples of potential and kinetic energy. So at the start, you're identifying examples. And then as you get into the lab, once you get your drawings done, you'll see there's a drawing and then a do, and then a drawing and then a do, and then a drawing and then a do. And so it's really important that if you want to complete this lab that you stay on track. Because if you don't stay on track, then you're really going to get in trouble. And I think if you're doing this, even if you're doing this right, it could throw you for a loop. All right, so enough with the Carl Azuz style puns. All kidding aside, the track sections, I have two different sizes of track. One of them is a little more than a foot long. I know that we use metric usually in science class. This is about 40 centimeters long. And the other size, actually they are labeled on my box. Oh no, they're not. Never mind. Thought they were. So I have some then 12 of them that are a little bit shorter, which is no big deal. You know, we'll make sure that everybody has an equal amount of track as needed. So you can see these are a little bit shorter. These are only about a foot long, maybe even a little less than that. So that is what's going on with that. You're going to be creating a ramp using track pieces. I'll help you figure out how to connect the track pieces because we want to make sure that none of the stuff gets broken. I do intend to use it going forward, not just through these labs, but in point of fact going forward, you know, with my daughter and that kind of thing as well. So I'll help you figure out how to put our track pieces together. You're going to be creating a ramp using track pieces and books. Then you're going to be creating a horseshoe design, same thing, track pieces and books. And then if you have enough time, you're going to be trying to actually get it to go through the loopy thing. Now the loopy thing does have a launcher in it, but we're not using the launchers. If I need to, I'm going to take the rubber bands off of them. So I'm just pointing that out right now that there is a launcher, and I know there's a launcher, and if I have to, I'm going to totally disable the launcher. Because I think we can follow directions properly, but if we're not, then I'm going to completely disable the launcher, and you'll only have it as a plain loop. So that is my PSA about following directions. Finally, the cars. I know sometimes they get going really fast with these ramps. So we're going to try to keep our ramps on the floor to help avoid damage to the cars themselves. I have a limited number of cars. I think I have 5 or 6. And there's 4 to 6 lab groups in each particular class. So it's going to be a waste of materials if we're trashing out the cars by throwing them against the wall or throwing them across the room, that kind of thing. And then I'll have to take you off the lab heavy to an alternative experiment. And I really don't want to do that. I want you to have the hands-on. I want you to be understanding this stuff. All that being said, this lab is going well. The quiz is going to be being moved to next week. I have not decided for sure what day, but it's not going to be on Friday anymore. It's getting moved to next week. And then once again for this Friday, I'm going to be off campus at a conference. So you're going to have an in-class assignment that you're doing there. You'll have a vlog, but you won't have any live and in person. So I'm going to turn it over so you can get to your labs. I've taken enough of your time. Get your Chromebooks out. You don't need live anyone to say it. Go ahead and get your Chromebooks out and get logged back into your lab reports. Make sure everybody in your group is on the same page. If someone was absent yesterday, catch them up to where they need to be. Let them know what's going on. If someone just wasn't paying attention yesterday, catch them up to where they need to be. Make sure they know what's going on. Every single person is going to need to turn in their own individualized lab report to get credit for this activity. It's 16 points. It's formative, but it's 16 points instead of the regular 8 on the omelet scale. So I want to point that out. It's being taken as a kind of serious type of thing. Thanks so much. Happy Wednesday.